You guys just saw that? I hit my head on the lights. Anyway, today is my last day in Arizona. It's been a little bit of a work trip, a little bit of a relaxation, refocus, and readjust trip. And that word, readjust, is kind of the topic of today's video in a certain way. I think that the Prime card needs a bit of a readjustment. I think that things are happening that I can't explain, and because of that, certain things need to change. I know I'm speaking in generalities here, but much like me sitting in the grass of my backyard, we all know that KSI is main eventing in Tommy's backyard in Manchester on the Prime card. And in the second main event, co-main event, Dillon Danis and Logan Paul are also fighting. And as we all know by now, that has kind of become the people's main event for the general audience. I still think KSI and Tommy is an interesting fight, and their fight promotion has kind of got me more intrigued, but there's a topic of discussion we are not having yet, and I think we need to. Dillon Danis, whether you like him or not, has been the best promoter on this card. And while Logan's going to give him exactly what he deserves in the ring, I am of the opinion he should get what he deserves outside of it. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. Guys, stop the video for just a second because we have to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, MyBookie. That's right, it's week 1 of the NFL season. College football is here as well. As you guys can see, I'm not repping my team. I'm not an Arizona State fan. I just didn't have a hoodie for the trip. But I'm in an airport and I'm flying around up and down, going across the country. And one thing that's going to take you to the next level and have you flying is when you use code WADE at MyBookie. But guys, there's also a special offer right now, new to MyBookie, and that is the brand new cash out option. Let's say you want to throw a parlay down, and let's say on that parlay you got 2 out of the 3 picks already correct, and you want to hit that cash out. You can do so right now. Again, college football this week, NFL football this week. Couple picks for you guys. Yes, I'm rocking the ASU, but you all know I'm a Tennessee boy at heart. And the Vols are beating Virginia by however many points they want to. Take the over on the spread. Tennessee is about to spread them cheeks for Virginia. Ayo. And take week 1 of this series. And again, you can bet on that game and all of your favorites. To get started, it's simple. Go to mybookie.ag, sign up for a free account, and when you're ready, use code WADE when you make your first deposit and get that bonus on the house. Plus, access to 1 free casino chip you can use at MyBookie's casino. All that and more when you use code WADE. And once again, folks, please gamble responsibly. Thank you to MyBookie for sponsoring this video. And now, let's get back into the content. All right, just showed my feet. That's horrifying. But if you guys didn't have any access to any sort of technology in the last 2 to 3 months and had no idea that Dillon Danis has been trying to terrorize Logan Paul's entire life in the name of fight buildup and potentially saving Logan from a marriage he thinks is unjust, maybe Jesus Christ himself coming down to speak to Logan and say, hey, are you sure about this? Dillon Danis has, for all intents and purposes, been the promoter of the Prime card to this point. And I'm not just saying that because, yes, the biggest names on the card are KSI, Logan Paul, and Tommy Fury, but the biggest numbers as far as impressions and buildup have been Dillon Danis's. And because of that, you would think that Dillon Danis deserves some sort of kickback or some sort of recognition for bringing eyes to this card. Again, you may not like the way he's doing it. I don't like the way he's doing it, but the reward isn't we're rewarding him for talking badly about someone's fiance. That's not the reward I'm talking about. And I know that's a little bit of a fine line. Why are we rewarding someone for speaking this way or promoting in this way? It is just the fight game, though. Whether I like it, you like it or not, drama and personal feelings and cutting deep and real bad blood sells fights. Conor McGregor sold 2.8, I think, million with Khabib Nurmagomedov at UFC 229. It is the most watched pay-per-view in the history of the UFC, and Conor McGregor got rewarded handsomely for it in the realm of 20 to 50 to 70 million dollars, depending on who you ask and who's telling the truth. He got rewarded like that, not because he just showed up and fought, but because this was the highest viewed fight in UFC history. It was promoted, and because of that promotion, Conor and Khabib earned what's called pay-per-view points. Dillon Danis, for the KSI Tommy Fury card, is not earning pay-per-view points, and I think that he should. I think he should. Because, again, let's talk about the numbers. Dillon Danis has pulled in more numbers than KSI, Logan Paul, Tommy Fury combined just on his Twitter, let alone the fact that he went on the Nelk Boys podcast and did multiple million views. He's been on other podcasts that, by the way, are small channels in the realm of 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers and is pulling 100 to 200 to 300,000 views on those videos, it seems like everything he does, people interact with, again, for good or bad. And we're just going to talk about this because it is out there. Yes, that video, the one video that everyone has been seeing on Twitter, and I mean everyone, to the tune of, 200 million people have seen this video of, again, the similar kind of played out tactic, but it continues to work. Dillon talking about Logan Paul's fiance. These numbers can't be denied. And when you do add in the fact that Logan and KSI are going to pull in ridiculous numbers from WWE, from Misfits, from the YouTube land, and then, of course, Tommy Fury is going to pull some from pro boxing. Dillon Danis is gathering everyone. It isn't just the MMA community like we thought it would be. Dillon's pulling in people that have no idea about fighting. Dillon is pulling in OnlyFans girls on Twitter. You'd think that Corinna Kampf, by the way, Corinna, this isn't my place, but I got it on Airbnb for about, well, I won't say the number. Just know that it's got 3 bedrooms. Okay, I can't do this. She could buy and sell this place 50. Is that grill on? I probably should go turn that off, actually. Anyway, yeah, Corinna, holler at your boy. What I'm saying is she is going to definitely watch this after the interaction. You have other people, not just on Twitter, but, again, people talking to Joe Rogan about this. You could go to your local Target store and just say the names KSI, Logan Paul, and fight, and the first thing that'll probably come out of someone's mouth is, isn't Dillon Danis talking about Logan's girl? It has now worldwide attention that can't be denied, so why isn't Dillon Danis getting pay-per-view points? Well, one reason could be because of what's happened in the past, right? The lack of showing up to the fight and the potential that he may not show up to this one. I am of the opinion that Dillon has to show up to this fight. But as Keemstar reported, 2 billion impressions on Dillon's Twitter. I don't know how Twitter payouts work. Like, mine was only $1,000. But again, the grass is always greener on the other side, much like you get the reference. So I don't know exactly what Dillon's making on his stuff, but that number of impressions is bananas. So maybe you could say, okay, Dillon's leveraging this Twitter thing to not even show up, and he can pay the $100,000 fine, which is, again, an odd thing. Apparently, Logan gets to choose the doctor that Dillon goes to see if he has any kind of injury. That means they can determine whether he's really injured for the pullout. It's odd stuff. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why Misfits is a little hesitant to give Dillon any kind of leverage on pay-per-view numbers. But I have heard they're going to give Dillon a link, like a pay-per-view link to the event. And again, I guess that's an individual way to see who buys the pay-per-view. But again, people that don't necessarily know Dillon or follow Dillon on Twitter still know this fight because he has put it out into the ethos. They might not know his name, but they know what he said. They know that he's the one that's fighting Logan, and he said the things about him. So I don't even know if the pay-per-view link is going to do justice to what Dillon actually deserves for bringing in this number. Again, I will say this because I continue to have to. I don't agree with how Dillon's doing this. I don't, and I never will. But I still think the people that draw the most people in, which right now is Dillon, clearly, impressions-wise. Again, I don't know if that will convert like a KSI will convert, like Logan will convert because of their massive reach inherently. But I do think Dillon deserves, if KSI is getting pay-per-view points, if Logan is getting pay-per-view points, and if Tommy is, which, again, maybe no one is. Maybe everyone had a flat fee. But Dillon should get that if everyone else is as well. Just my opinion on things. But another reason Misfits may not want to do that is because of what I just said. Maybe no one is getting that, and maybe everyone's getting a flat fee. But I would be surprised if KSI and Logan weren't getting pay-per-view points because, again, coming into this, they were the names you thought would sell the most. It just so happens that Dillon is actually attracting more attention here, good or bad. And yes, this card was always going to be hotter than a freaking 100-degree day in Phoenix, Arizona, yet somehow I'm still able to be pale while sitting out here 30 minutes a day. What is wrong with me? Why can't I tan? But the main point is Dillon has found a way to circumvent the 3 biggest names on the card to become one of, if not the biggest attention getter in this game right now. And that's why I think a pay-per-view link may not be enough to give him, if he does show and if he does fight, what he actually earned and what audience he actually brought into this fight. And I know the last time I did what I'm about to do, I was subsequently fired from Misfits and told to go have fun on bankruptcy. You guys know the clip. But let's talk about how many pay-per-views this card could actually do. I think if piracy is under control, that this could do 1.2 to 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. That's how much I believe that people genuinely will buy the DAZN subscription and the pay-per-view on top of it. Again, maybe that's a lowball number because this has the biggest names. This does. It has some of the biggest names, the brightest stars in influencer boxing's history, all loaded into one card. So maybe they're projecting even higher, but that's a massive number. And to not have Dillon rewarded, again, you don't want to reward how he's doing it, but you do want to reward more people bringing an audience in, because at the end of the day, this is what we've asked for in the influencer boxing scene. Maybe not the way he's doing it, but that Dillon Danis is actually promoting. Logan Paul is not doing that. KSI is not doing that. They are relying on the audience they already have to this moment, which is a massive one, but no one is putting in the effort he is. Tommy Fury sure as hell is. And I feel like while the cicadas are blasting out my audio and the sun is going down in Arizona, the people are blasting out one name as this card comes closer and closer, and that is Dillon Danis. Whether you like him or not, or the way he's promoting or not, he deserves, if he makes that walk, to be compensated for the eyes he is bringing. That's my opinion. You guys let me know in the comments below. Is Dillon deserving of not just a link to the pay-per-view, but pay-per-view points? And is he, as the lights come on here in this yard, clicking a light on in your head? Is he making you more interested in this car? I don't have those answers, but like I said, I'm always on the road. Today's my last day in Arizona. Tomorrow, we head to Boston. What am I doing there? I guess you'll find out.